Don't worry, your eyes did not deceive you. You saw the thumbnail correctly. Today I will tell you why I spent 5 hours doing everything in the beginner lobby of the Spring Collab deathless just to get a few collectibles. So buckle in, because this is gonna be a long one. Anyways, let me start from the beginning. The 2020 Spring Collab mod in Celeste is a map pack which contains over 80 custom maps of varying difficulties. These maps are grouped into lobbies by their difficulty, ranging from beginner all the way to Grandmaster difficulty. Once all of the maps in a lobby are beaten, a Heartside is unlocked, which is a remix of all of the maps in that lobby. After having played through most of this mod, I decided to try and do each map in the beginner lobby without dying, while also getting all of the red berries in that map. Because the maps in the pack are short, they have silver berries instead of golden berries, which are collected by completing the map deathless. An exception to this are the Heartside, which are long, and as of such have golden berries. Once all of the silver berries are collected, they combine into a rainbow berry. I managed to get all of the silver berries and the golden berry in the past, but I forgot to record it, so I had to redo it, and I decided to also get all of the red berries in each map to challenge myself further than in the past. This proved to be quite the challenge, and ended up taking me around 5 hours in total to complete. Because I had already collected the golden and silver berries before, they were already collected and looked transparent in the recording. There are chapters in the description for each map so that you can watch any map that you want. I will also talk about my experience with each map. This video took a lot of time and effort to make, so if you enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps out a ton. I have a Discord server and a Twitch channel where I stream 3 times a week. Both are linked in the description and in my channel, so go check them out to join the community and watch even more Celeste content. Now, with that out of the way, let's get some berries. This map was great. Its aesthetic was like the Mirror Temple and looked good. It utilized the Mirror Temple's dash blocks, moving blades, seekers, gates and buttons, and red bubbles to create easy, simple, and straightforward gameplay. There was one room in the map which stood out to me, in which there was a seeker that would get crushed by a block if you dashed, and you needed it to break a block, so you had to do the room dashless. Overall, I had fun playing this map, although it was a bit easy for me, so I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was good. Its aesthetic was like the core but with dream blocks and looked great. Its main mechanics were dream blocks and core mode, which made it so you had 2 dashes but only regained your dashes in screen transitions or from dash crystals. These two combined created some routing puzzle rooms. For me, all of the rooms were easy to figure out other than the last one. I enjoyed playing this map, but since I don't particularly like core mode and because this map was relatively easy, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was very good. Its aesthetic combines decorated transparent blocks with nice color shifting spinners and a night sky background, which looked really well together and created a calming atmosphere. Its main mechanic was dash crystals. The map was very simple and you just had to make it through screens with jumps and dashes with very lenient timing. Although I really like this map and it is also one of the first maps I played in this mod, it was also quite easy, so I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was amazing. Its aesthetic combines blue spinners with vibrant and lush tiles, which made it pop out. Its main mechanics are dream blocks, Badeline orbs, and birds. All of these combine to make for cool gameplay sequences, which are all done while in midair. This gameplay made the map tougher than other maps in this lobby. This map used very fun mechanics and had satisfying and not trivial gameplay, so I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was alright. Its aesthetic was of a cold and blue mountain. Some areas were more cave-like, while others were open and had a beautiful sky background. This aesthetic created a great atmosphere for the map. The main mechanics in this map were red and green bubbles, clouds, and springs. These mechanics made for very slow and methodical gameplay, and also some precise timings between spinners or around stars. One thing that I didn't like about this map was that the music in it had some really loud and unpleasant sections, so it hurt the experience. I enjoyed the overall gameplay of the map, and it wasn't too easy, but because of the issue with the music, I'd give this map a 6 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was really good. Its aesthetic was like the old site and looked good. This map's main mechanics were dash crystals, dream blocks, and key coins. This map combined dash crystals and dream blocks so that you could change direction in the middle of the dream block, which was super unique and fun. The rooms were routing puzzles because you had to find out where to change directions to progress or get a key coin. This map had super unique and fun gameplay and I enjoyed it a lot, so I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was outstanding. Its aesthetic was a sort of mechanical factory-like one, which stood out from the other maps. This map's main mechanics were levers, a light mechanic, light detectors, mirrors, and colored traffic blocks, which all move when a block of their color moves. The map combined these mechanics to make interesting puzzles, where you had to activate lights with a lever, and then move the light sources and mirrors with the help of traffic blocks to get the light to the detector and complete the room. One room stood out to me where you activated a light which started a kind of timer, so you had to complete gameplay quickly before the gate closes in front of you. This map was super creative, had fun to solve rooms, and had cool modded mechanics, so I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was okay. Its aesthetic was made up of brown ground tiles, stony blocks, ice blocks, and dream blocks, and had a dark space-like background. This created a dark atmosphere which made the ice blocks stand out because of their brightness. The main mechanics in this map were dream blocks and springs. These mechanics were combined to make for some tight gameplay. Most of the dream blocks in the level were small, so you had to time your dashes well. This map was pretty basic, but because I really liked dream blocks and the gameplay was decently tough, I'd give this map a 7.5 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was very well made. Its aesthetic was super vibrant with pink spikes, pink spinners, vibrant pink, blue, and green blocks, and a dark background to make the colors pop. This map's main mechanic was the Badeline blocks. These blocks are related to Badeline in the vanilla game, but in this case were just used as blocks that switch position on a cycle. This mechanic required you to time your jumps off of these blocks to get a boost and complete rooms. A room that stood out to me in this map was one of the berry rooms where there was a winged berry, so you had to do the room dashless until the end where you dash and have to catch the berry as it is flying up. Overall, this map was super fun and satisfying to play, so I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was pretty good. Its aesthetic was made mostly of blocks that looked like Kevin's and some reddish blocks and red lighting, which created an eerie vibe. This map's main mechanic was the Kevin blocks, which move in the direction that you dash into them. These made for quite easy to read gameplay, although it wasn't very easy to execute, since you had to position quite well when going off of the Kevin blocks or doing some of the jumps in the map. This map wasn't very unique in its gameplay, but had a very unique aesthetic, so I'd give it 7.5 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was mediocre. Its aesthetic was of a slightly lush cave filled with water, which added a lot to the map. This map's main mechanics were having no dash, water streams that push you in the water, levers that change the water streams, having an air meter which limits the amount of time that you can swim underwater, and air crystals which refill your air when you collect them. These mechanics combined for puzzly gameplay in which you had to switch the right water streams to get to key coins and to the end of the room, and also you had to manage your air so you could get there without dying. One room that stood out to me was a room where you had to throw a jellyfish into a stream and then change the stream to get the jellyfish to collect multiple key coins. I didn't really enjoy this map because the air limit just randomly made you lose sometimes because you swam slightly unoptimally, and also because the map was dashless, the gameplay felt very slow. Because of this, I'd give this map a 5 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was alright. Its aesthetic was spacey and dark, which felt like the night sky and was soothing. Whenever you were near binoculars, the map lit up and looked very good. This map's main mechanics were not having a dash, springs, bubbles, and feathers. The gameplay in this map had feathers, bubbles, and springs, replacing your dash in many places. I didn't really have fun playing this map because having no dash made it feel very slow, but it looked really nice, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was good. Its aesthetic was desaturated and dark with red spinners, which created a stressful atmosphere in the map. This map's main mechanics were dash crystals, red bubbles, and springs. These mechanics were combined into pretty simple gameplay where you traverse rooms by leaving bubbles in the right time and dashing from springs and after collecting dash crystals. I liked the atmosphere and aesthetic of this map, but it was pretty easy for me, so I'd give it 7.5 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was fine. Its aesthetic was of a pink mountain with yellow on the top layer and a bunch of clouds in the background. This aesthetic was weird because it had an unusual color combination of yellow and pink, but it was cool nonetheless. This map's main mechanics were not having a dash and snowballs that flew at you from the right side of the screen. These created gameplay where you had to climb and jump towards the end while avoiding the snowballs that came every so often. I liked the gameplay in the map because the snowballs made it so you had to plan your route, but because it was dashless and the map was quite long, it felt very slow. However, the map got quite hard in the end, so I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was my favorite map in the lobby other than the Heartside. Its aesthetic was monochrome other than dash and jump crystals which added color, which made them look special. The main mechanics in the map were springs, dash crystals, and jump crystals, which give you an extra jump in the air when you get them. These were used to create gameplay where you were in the air a lot and had to jump and dash at the right times to make it through. The jump crystals were a really fun mechanic, and the map was designed really well with the mechanic. So it was really fun, and it was also quite hard to complete. So I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was complex. Its aesthetic was like the first part of the Mirror Temple, but with grey spinners. This map's main mechanics were color-coded keycoin blocks, switches and gates, moving blocks and dash blocks. This map was a puzzle map, which made you get coins for different coin blocks in the right order so that you could make it through the room together with Theo. Additionally, there were some puzzles that involved switch gate priority or that required clever routing. Overall, this map was very fun. The puzzles were good and made the map hard to beat, but relatively easy to execute. So I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was very nice. Its aesthetic was made of lush and fluffy tiles with electricity all around and a vibrant background. The electricity made the scene dynamic while also being an obstacle. This map's main mechanics were jellyfish, the bird, dream blocks, and power boxes. These mechanics created gameplay where you had to tightly move between electricity and gain height with the jelly and the bird to go over the electricity. And then you had to go into small dream blocks after the jellies get removed to a jelly barrier or you let go of it. At the end of each room was a power box which let you progress to the next room. One room that stood out to me was a room where you could get an extra berry by backtracking after breaking the power box and removing the electricity. This map had satisfying and fluid jellyfish gameplay, and although it was quite simplistic, I still enjoyed it and I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was fun. Its aesthetic was designed to look like a circus, so it had a brown and wooden design and also had some striped red and white elements in the background. This map's main mechanics were wooden platforms that moved on cycles and were covered with spikes or springs, dash crystals, and key coin blocks. These made gameplay where you had to bounce around with the springs and stay in the air with dash crystals to get different key coins around the room to unlock the exit. Also, there was some gameplay where you had to time the platform cycle to avoid the spikes on the platform or make it to the next one. One room that stood out to me was a berry room where there were platforms with dust bunnies rotating around them and you had to weave between them to get key coins and unlock the berry. Because this map's gameplay was very dynamic, bouncy, and aerial, I had a lot of fun with it. Additionally, the gameplay wasn't trivial to do, which is also a bonus, so I'd give this map a 10 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. This map was unlocked after beating all the other maps in the lobby, and therefore it was the final gauntlet. This map had 7 different flags with multiple sections designed after different maps from the lobby and using their mechanics. This map was essentially a combination of all the maps in the lobby. Because the flags had multiple sections, they were quite long, which made the map quite hard, since you had to beat all of the sections in each flag in one go. The gameplay in this map was quite a lot harder than the gameplay in the lobby maps, which made my experience with it even better. Overall, this map was really fun. It worked great as a final gauntlet, and combined the different maps very well, and was also quite hard, so I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Now, let's watch the full run. A huge thank you to everyone who watched until the end of the video. It means a lot to me. Also, thank you for 200 subscribers. It's actually a crazy amount. If you made it here, comment rainbow down below, and I'll know you're a real one. Anyways, I have this small surprise just for you. See you all next time!